The legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com. Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts Mr. Skin, Jimmy Fela, and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Episode 23 of the world-famous, internationally renowned Mr. Skin Podcast, a special holiday edition of the show. Jimmy Fela, Andrea Lowell, and the great Mr. Skin getting ready to do the damn thing. Happy holidays again. How is everybody?
Great.
Everyone's great here.
I'm excited, Skin Man. We're halfway through the Christmas season, which means I can almost stop moving the elf on the shelf. Does anyone else have the elf on the shelf?
No.
I'm exhausted.
That elf.
Hey, when did that even
keeps
get
the kids
popular?
in line, baby.
I remember when I was a kid, no one did that. Is it something that happened like the last decade? Like, when did that pop up and why?
Yo, Andrew, everybody always says, like, oh, if I had a time machine, I would go back and kill Hitler. Yo, I would go back and kill the guy who invented the elf on the shelf. I'm exhausted.
It's like one more thing parents have to do during the holiday season. Aren't you already doing enough?
Oh, it's so much. And you know what it is, too? Every night at like 2 a.m, your spouse elbows you in the face to wake you up and ask if you move the elf on the shelf. Yo, did you move the elf? That's what it should be called, the domestic dispute in the bedroom. Because I'm getting bruised and battered, so I get up and move the elf on the shelf. So happy holidays to you
don't
guys.
need any conflict in that. You don't need any more conflict in that bedroom.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jenny Fela, she grew up on a dairy farm, so sex with her is like a hazing ritual to begin with. It's like, do you remember in Christmas Story, the triple dog dare?
Yes.
Yeah, oh
everything
my God.
Jenny Fela partakes in would be, at minimum, a double dog dare to the common
You gotta
man.
love that, though.
At minimum. So, and in the spirit of such things, this is on my brain today, and I know we have a lot to get to, and I know last week we were discussing how to manage, the holiday consumption, the booze and the food and all of that stuff.
Oh, God.
I'm managing something else this week because at this point, it's about December 13th. We've been listening to holiday music now for 3 months.
Oh, yeah. It's rough.
They start playing it on the 4th of July weekend now. Like, it's just, Christmas doesn't end now. It's omnipotent. And I was Jenny and I were having this conversation yesterday. What is the best holiday music to have sex to?
Oh, to have
None.
sex to?
To have sex to. No, you said none, Skin. I disagree.
I say none.
I disagree. And we're going to get through this in a minute. I'm not talking in the store, Skin. I'm talking like at home.
I mean, my brain naturally goes to like Jingle Bell Rock, because when I think about boning, I think about like rocking it out, and I don't want to be boning to like Mariah Carey's cover of something.
Yeah, anything that ends in ho ho ho.
Actually, that might inspire me.
Can I give you the best S&M song?
Yeah,
by far, but you have to picture it in your head.
Okay,
is Little Drummer Boy.
Oh,
that has to be.
Oh my God!
It's so horrifying. You're getting strapped up to the bed, and the gimp's walking in with the wiffle ball bats.
Oh,
the last thing you want to hear is Little Drummer Boy.
I completely purged that song from my memory. I mean, just took me back to like choir in like 3rd grade singing that shit.
Yeah, if you get tied up to the bed and Little Drummer Boy comes on, you are reaching for that safe word. Let's be honest.
Hey, Andrea, if you're living out in Southern California, do you even feel like it's Christmas?
No.
When it's 70 degrees and sunny?
No,
That's weird.
I'm wearing like a sports bra and yoga pants and flip-flops. Like, there's no...
Yeah, see, that's weird. I as much as I hate snow as I've gotten older, I do like a little snow on Christmas. That's cool.
I will say it's the one thing that I miss. We do have snow in California, just not in SoCal where I live.
Where you are.
And
right.
one of the most magical things that I've ever experienced is when snow falls, because we can go to any ski resort and they have either snow that they've manufactured or brought in or snowed previously, but to watch it fall is something us Southern Californians never experienced. So it's so magical.
That is powerful. That is powerful. Christmas has changed. Like, even on the East Coast last year on Christmas Eve, it was 70 degrees. So it
where you are?
Wow.
Yeah, it was 70 degrees on Christmas Eve. It was 68 degrees. We went to bed on Christmas Eve with our windows open. In New York last year, Christmas Eve, it was that hot. Everything.
I forgot about that.
Do you remember that, Skin? Like, everything is kind of like, the whole culture has changed. Like, even nowadays, if someone builds like a female snowman, it has a merkin. They don't even have real muff anymore. It's crazy.
No, but it has changed. It's so drastic, because when you mention like Christmas music, I actually don't even think Christmas music. I think classic music like Frank Sinatra. Because to me, Christmas is very traditional and just the culture, the landscape of our society has changed so greatly that I just kind of miss the culture and the tradition of yesteryear.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
No, that's a good point.
I'm thinking like, I want Frank Sinatra playing. I want, that old vibe.
So you don't listen to a Justin Bieber Christmas, is what you're saying? Yeah.
No, I don't listen to Justin Bieber or anything, let alone Christmas.
No.
Hold on.
But we have our big, this week, Jimmy and Andrea is our big Mr. Skin office party this Thursday, which is always it's always a lot of fun. Actually,
it's
one of my favorite things when we do the Secret Santa. We do a Secret Santa. We have about 35 people here at the office. And what to me is the coolest thing is how well everyone knows each other. The Secret Santa gift giving thing is so much fun because the gift is always kind of a little dig or a joke, and everyone gets it, and it's really a fun time. Then we go out to dinner, then we come back here. So our Christmas party, like for some of the guys, not me, but some of the younger employees will end about 2:30, 3 in the morning here at the office.
I love it.
So it's a lot of fun.
And I think I speak for Andrea and myself when I say thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're very,
I must have missed it.
Forward to this. Me and Andrea are having our own party. We're just gonna Snapchat. We're each gonna get a beer. We're gonna get a beer and Snapchat together from New York to LA. You can have your damn party, Skin. How about that? Yeah. I'll be listening to Little Drummer Boy and beating off in front of a webcam
while you're tied up.
Yeah, I don't need this. But happy holidays. As you can see, we're halfway into the alcohol consumption portion of the year.
Yeah.
I am actually pretty sober today. I'm caffeinated. Do you ever have this happen, Andrew?
Dude, yes.
Have you every once in a while, whatever your coffee routine is, two things happen. Every once in a while, your coffee exceeds expectations.
Yes.
And becomes like 3 lines of cocaine for whatever reason.
Yes, Jimmy, yes.
But have you ever had the opposite? Have you ever been reversed coffeeed? Where you have a sip of coffee to make you drowsy. Have you ever had that?
No.
Yeah, I think it's like any other drug or self-medication. Like if you get tolerant to a certain strain or type or varietal, you just don't have that reaction. So when I try an alternate coffee, I get cracked out. And I'm having that today. A little cracky jacky, but I like it.
Is that true? What are you what's a gal like you on? Is this a Starbucks holiday coffee? Is it a homemade chock full of nuts? What is a gal like you drink? Our listeners should know before we get moving. Today, I did an organic, of course. Stop it.
An organic freeze-dried coffee because I'm too lazy to actually wait for the coffee machine. And because I don't normally use the freeze-dried stuff, I'm cracked out. Wow. I did a double scoop. I added some maca root powder. If anyone's familiar with that superfood, that's pure kind of almost testosterone. So it kind of jacks you out.
Oh, wow.
And then some stevia.
Stevia, look at you. Shit got wild. Skin, I will say this before we jump into the main event of the evening here. I remain partial towards Dunkin' Donuts coffee simply because of the table conversation you get to listen to. And I say this to people a lot. Like when you go to Dunkin', when you go to say you go to Starbucks, which is by me, you sit down at Starbucks with a coffee, you listen to the guy next to you and he is arguing with his accountant about a beach house they're building in the Hamptons.
And he wants you to hear.
Yeah, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, the guy next to you is arguing with himself. You know what I'm saying? Because
the thing about coffee always freaked me out, still does, when you go into a White Castle or a hamburger place and you see a guy having a coffee and a hamburger. Isn't that a weird? That's like an old. I don't think anyone over 30 has ever had coffee and a hamburger.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. But everyone over 50 or 60 has had coffee and a hamburger.
Coffee and a hamburger
That's so
goes
weird.
on. I've never even heard of that.
Nor have I.
Oh no, that's
a thing.
Every old guy has coffee and a hamburger.
Can I jump in?
It's the weirdest thing.
Can I jump in? Because you are Mr. Skin. So I just want to be clear for our listeners. Is this a meal or a euphemism?
Not coffee and a rear burger.
No, I just meant in general. I'm not even trying to be funny. Is it a euphemism? Do people say you pick up a hooker and you're like, yeah, coffee and a hamburger, and she knows what that means? I'll have a Steamboat Willie. You know what I mean? I want to know. I want to know. People are naked. People are naked all over TV in 2016. I think we can all agree on that. Mm-hmm. We've done a great job of chronicling it. But I do believe today, Mr. Skin, as advertised, we will break down the top 10 TV scenes of 2016. Is that true?
Yes. And I got to tell you, when I was putting the list already at our website, we have the top 10 nude scenes of the year, but that includes movies and television. And last week I did my 10 best movie nude scenes for you. But this week I'm doing my top 10 TV nude scenes. And as you guys can imagine, I was talking to Joey, the head of content here yesterday, actually, and this is an incredible statistic. There are, if you were on, say, DirecTV and you were flipping channels, there are 36 networks that feature nudity now, television networks that feature nudity, 102 total shows that are active shows. I'm not talking about canceled shows like The Sopranos or something like that. I'm talking about active television shows, 102 that we have to keep abreast of so we can make sure we don't miss any of this nudity. So for me to put a top 10 television nude scenes of the year together is not easy. I'm not complaining.
No, but
it definitely wasn't easy.
And that jumped up, didn't it? Didn't it used to be in the 90s?
Yeah, it was in the, well, it was, last year was in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Then like about a couple of months ago was in the 90s. But there's all these new networks and these, even this like Epix network is an example of something. Yeah, that's it's like on the Dish network and Comcast, but you can't get it on DirecTV, but they have original programming that Nick Nolte stars in one of the shows, and it's they have nudity, and it's crazy, and we're like, it's almost like we're chasing this stuff, but our guys work tirelessly to find all this, and it's just amazing. To put in perspective, when I started this, I was trying to think, there might have been like The Sopranos had just started when I started this website, and maybe Sex and the City was a couple of years old, and obviously that had some great nudity, but there was literally like 4 or 5 different places you could go to get nudity for the website. Everything else was from movies and DVDs coming out. Every Tuesday was when DVDs came out. And that was a big day for my website. Now it's like there's shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, especially Sunday. Yep. Tons of shows. It's tons of great content for our website. It's like the golden age, Jimmy, of nudity. The
golden age. This is the steroid era of nudity.
And the other thing too is I don't see like somebody saying, geez, I really want to start doing a show on HBO without nudity. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are shows that maybe have less nudity than others, but lo and behold, all these shows, eventually someone's going to get naked if they can. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not on CBS or NBC, but on every other station, it's coming. No question about it.
It is coming.
Well, we love that.
Yeah. So
where do we begin in this golden age?
Yeah, so I have for you guys. So these are just television shows. Some you might know real well, some maybe not, but I'll walk you through this. So we'll of course have this whole list at MrSkinPodcast.com. You could check it out. And Maddie D did a great job for you guys. These are all they're not just pictures; they're gifts, so you could really enjoy the nudity here. And, let me start with she. I know a lot of people aren't crazy about her, but she just does something to me. It's Chelsea Handler on her show Chelsea, which is a Netflix show, and again, Netflix doing original programming. Her show, she releases new content every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. She has a talk show. She does skits. Well, in 2016, she took the show on the road to Russia, and she went to one of those Russia's steam baths where they hit you with the big,
the leaves, the palm fronds and whatever.
But here's what I love about Chelsea Handler, whether you dig her politics or whatever. She's a big star, and she just has no problem showing those incredible cans. And I actually was just talking to Serena here from our office, and we both think that she's had some work done, but they're not like, it's not like she was an A cup or a B cup that got these big fake breasts, because most of that is her. I'm just assuming at her age, early to mid 40s, that there's no way she could have breasts that big, but still look natural, that are 100% natural. Andrew, would you want to chime in on that? What your thoughts are?
She's speechless. We might have lost her. I will say this, Skin, as a guy who's seen his fair share of breasts.
Yes.
She got these, I thought, for like a birthday present. Do you remember last year when she was like putting a topless selfie on Instagram like every day as part of like that Free the Nipple campaign or whatever? Right. Like, I think she got them enhanced and was kind of insecure about the end result, because like she just kept posting them. Like maybe to hear like, how do they look? Do they look good or something like that? Because there was a point last year where she was literally posting like one a day.
Right, but here's the thing: like, if you watch the scene, they're moving around, and, and if they were 100% fake, they'd just be like, you know, those typical terrible fake breasts you might see in porn or something. So
okay, I've got my tongue back. I've pulled it back in, got the jaw.
We lost you for a second, and I was like, I'm hanging on the edge of my seat for your.
Here's the thing. She has such incredible boobs. Who wouldn't show those off, right? Now, the way that they're shaped makes me swear that they're fake, but she has publicly said time and time again that they're not fake.
But Andrea, couldn't she have real breasts that's had some sort of support or even a lift?
Internal bras, they do. Straight up, they put like skin mesh inside your boobs and pull them up so they're perky. Like, they do crazy stuff in plastic surgery nowadays. So I don't know. I think they could be her real boobs 100%. I think they could be her real boobs with some sort of enhancement. But I do believe, because she's just such an honest person, that if she had implants, that she would tell us. So
nobody in show business would ever lie.
No, we would never go on.
Here's the thing. I was never a fan of hers. I really wasn't. And after I started watching whatever that show is she had on Netflix, Chelsea Does or Chelsea Goes or whatever.
Chelsea. Yeah, that's what this is.
I realized how vulnerable she was and how honest she was. Like, she straight did ayahuasca on camera twice. Okay. She has, I feel like she's just the type of person that would put it out there. Unless she's just a really good liar or insecure about her boobs. But she shows them off all the time. I'm at the point where I don't care if they're fake.
Yeah.
But I'm very impressed if they're not.
Exactly. This scene, just for me personally, the size of them, her celebrity, how open she was, the lighting, all the things that I love in a great nude scene.
Yeah.
This just made it a special scene, and that's why I put it at number 10. I loved it. There were 9 I liked better, but this is fantastic.
I love to say this because she's kind of like at the forefront of this thing. It's almost like, you know, like a feminist thing where they're like, you know, we're women, we're so proud of our sexuality, so we're just going to show our tits everywhere.
Yeah.
And but it's the narrative, okay, is kind of like this is some kind of revolution. But guys, we love this. We're not, this is not,
my God.
This is like, it's being built.
Let the revolution begin.
Oh yeah, it's like, let's desexualize titties. And the guys are like, keep showing us the desexualized titties.
Yeah. We'll show you jerks. We're going to hold you down and blow every one of you. And we're like, this is great. This is the greatest revolution
ever. Do they notice
ever.
no one's fighting on the other side?
It's like when Amber Rose does the slut walk in L.A., I think it's amazing. They like walk around in lingerie and shit. I'm like, the only guys showing up are there with like cameras and condoms.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Pick a wrong battle here. But I love it. I'm not complaining. Here we are.
Yeah. So anyway, Chelsea made my top 10 TV nude moments of 2016 at number 10.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you on that one for sure.
Let me go to number 9 here, because this girl, I noticed her a few times this year and really dug her. Her name's Lena Esco from the television show Kingdom, which is from the Audience Network. Again, this is one of those obscure... Now, this is a direct TV only network that does original programming. And this is an MMA show, you know, that the fighter
Ultimate
stuff.
Fighter type stuff.
So this Lena Esco is dating this guy who's a fighter, and she's kind of a bad influence on him, as you could see.
She's a bad influence on him?
On him. Yes, because, you know, he's supposed to be a training, and all she wants to do is smoke cigarettes and have sex and get fucked up. But she is so freaking hot. And again, I don't know how many people know this show, but trust me, Lena Esco's toplessness in Kingdom was the 9th best TV nudity of 2016.
Can I throw you guys one thing as
Please.
bonus content?
Yes.
Lena Esco, her face, her body even so, looks a lot like a porn star named Jessica Roberts.
Okay.
I don't know if you look at her face and you check out Jessica Roberts, I mean, eerily similar. She has a bob haircut, so it's a little bit different than Jessica Roberts. But there is and I only know this because I just, by chance, as I was researching for the show today, came across the Jessica Roberts video. And
then you tripped because your pants were down when you were going. Yeah.
You ever have one of those moments where you slip on a banana peel and grab a thing of lube and lock yourself in the bathroom for a half hour? You know, you gotta watch
hour, Jimmy. What's wrong with you?
Stop. Yeah, silly. But she does look like, as extra credit, listeners of the show, check out Jessica Roberts. There's a very striking similarity.
But
all right, we'll check. Yeah, no, that's a great call. And there's something about her that when I saw her, I don't know if it's the haircut.
No, I know what it is.
The character she's playing, there's something about her. She has great breasts
it's
too.
Her
it's really sexy.
Sexiness. It's not pretty. It's not beautiful. It's hot and sexy. She does a fuck me eye, a fuck me lip, a fuck me tongue. She knows how to look at a man and seduce without saying a word, which is similar to what a porn star does. So I think she does have like porn qualities, but like obviously way better skill. So it's the ability to seduce with her facial language. It's very sexy.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, I agree. She really knocked my socks off. So Lena Esco and Kingdom from the Audience Network is my 9th best nude scene.
Love it.
Of 2016, or TV nudity from 2016. Now, another show that's every year is on my list ever since it started up 7 seasons ago is Shameless. And this year, I didn't pick Emmy Rossum, though she had a nice nude scene. One of the girl that had a really cool story arc all season was Ruby Modine, the daughter of Matthew Modine, and she had a relationship with Lip this season. And speaking of Lip,
to lip.
Lee's lip to lip right now, because in this scene, he's lip locked because he is going down, serious going down action on Ruby Modine.
Damn.
And what was awesome was when he came up for air, he had a lot of juice on his face, which only Shameless would give you that added bit of realism.
Yeah, he got blasted.
Yeah,
he got blasted.
And I got to tell you, this girl's hot. And she's, I looked her up when she first was on the show, that I guess Matthew Modine was married to a Hispanic woman, because she definitely has she's definitely 50% Hispanic, and very exotic, beautiful girl. But man, she got naked a lot this season, but especially this one where Lip's going down to her and gets the wet face was a big favorite of mine.
Yeah, I'm with you. She has no fear. She was naked in almost every episode she was in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about her, and she's a great actress too. On top,
her character's Sierra. If you follow the show, and we're big fans this year of Ruby Modine. So she kind of had a breakout year as far as we were concerned, and she gets my 8th best television nude moment of 2016.
Boom.
Bravo!
Top 8. She goes to a bowl game on New Year's Day.
Well, number 7 is this show, and I talked to you guys about it because it debuted while we were doing the podcast, is Quarry, which is that show on Cinemax with Logan Marshall Green. He's a Vietnam vet in the early 70s, and he comes back to what Vietnam vets came back to back in the day. And it's tough, but thank God he discovered Jodie Balfour, because she did so many great nude scenes this year. And I want to tell you, the guy that created Banshee, which ended last season or last year, is the creator of Quarry. So of course it's going to have awesome nudity. Banshee was one of the all-time great shows, and this show was great. And Jodie Balfour was the main nude star, and really, really great stuff.
Okay, her thumbprints on her lower back / upper ass are phenomenal. The projection of her upper butt cheek is through the roof. We need more of her. Do you have more intel on her?
Well, she's just that she did a lot more nude scenes. I chose these two just to show you guys.
Incredible, man.
Yeah, and so Jimmy, would you go to Vietnam if you knew that you could come back to this? Yeah.
That's not a fair question.
That is so funny. That's how they started the original like suicide bomber thing, where you get the 72 virgins. Like you get this girl.
Who cares about Agent Orange when you got this back at home?
Yeah, no question, Skin Man.
Yeah, she was great. The guys at our office also kind of fell for her too, and she was a big topic of conversation in the content department and with the writers. Everyone really loved our breakout nude star number 2, Jodie Balfour from Quarry on Cinemax. So check her out. You'll love her. You guys can see by the pics what we're talking about.
Absolutely, she's banging.
Oh yeah, she's banging Logan Marshall Green. So anyway, number 6 on the list of the best TV nudity of 2016 is another show from the Audience Network. It's called Rogue, and it's Ashley Greene, who is best known as playing Alice Cullen in the Twilight movies.
Right.
And I'd get asked about her a lot from guys that, obviously millions of people saw the Twilight movies and loved her. And what I didn't know too much about her, because of course, why the hell would I go watch Twilight movies? But what blew me away was how incredible her rack is. I'd say solid C's there, Andrea. Would you back me on that? Yeah.
Not a large C, but a solid C. Yeah, she's
solid
amazing.
C, like my grade point average in high school.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
And anyway, so this Rogue
titty.
it's another Audience Network. It's only seen on DirecTV. She doesn't quite have the avalanche boobs when she lays back, but where they'd spill completely to the
and
side.
I think
but
that's a
really
beautiful
great
thing.
natural boobs.
I think that's because of her youth. They're not moving yet, but they're still so perky. They're obviously real.
But you could tell they're real.
Absolutely.
You could tell they're real.
And she's just so pretty. She reminds me of like a fantasy fairy. You know what I mean? Like in a movie. She just has that like perfect nose and big, beautiful eyes. She's just very pretty. So when you see her getting pounded out like this, it's really hot.
Well, the other thing too is, and this is why the business I'm in is so great right now. If you think about it, here's a girl who hit it pretty big in the Twilight movies, yet out of the blue, with very little fanfare, does a character on this Rogue, which is again, I want to stress, this is a direct TV only original programming. This isn't like ABC, NBC, CBS, FX. This is pretty narrow,
more obscure,
very obscure to be frank. I don't know how many people are watching this show, and then she does a great topless scene. So this is why I think I did a smart move getting into the celebrity nudity business, because business has never been better when an Ashley Greene is in some obscure television show getting topless.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got a good bench nowadays. Like when it comes to TV nudity, our depth chart is stacked.
Oh my God, stacked is the word. So anyway, that was number 6, best television nudity of the year. Now number 5 was one that is nope. I doubt people know this actress, but everyone knows the show, and everyone can recognize incredible racktastic rack here. It's Elaine Powell from Game of Thrones, and there was a moment in last season's Game of Thrones where there was an actual play that the little Stark girl walked in on, and up on stage they're actually making fun of
her family,
her family, and it's really weird. This Elaine Powell is playing Sansa Stark, the older sister, Sophie Turner's character. So it was just mocking her, but there was a scene on stage where she took her top off, and then backstage they did a close-up of her breasts because they were so spectacular. And I got to say, when we do the Anatomy Awards for Best Breasts, these are right in the mix. These are
awesome. Grade A titties. I don't know if they get better than this. They're perfect.
No. Because she's also skinny. Like I'm a big fan of skinny arms and big boobs. That's one of my favorite looks, and she has that. And the fact that it was on Game of Thrones, one of the most popular television shows, and and how beautiful she is, and everything else, just made this a top 5 nude scene of 2016 for television.
Now, after you know that they've done all the CGI nudity with Lena Headey and all this stuff, does it ever make you doubt, even slightly, any other nudity you see on Game of Thrones?
Well, you got to understand, the reason they did CGI nudity for the Lena Headey scene was just how incredibly graphic and brutal and torturous it would have been for an actual actress, A-list actress to do it. I mean, that's when you do that.
Okay.
For a kind of unknown actress who has an incredible rack to show it off on a television show, you don't need CGI.
I gotcha.
So yeah, so there's a time and a place for it, and luckily it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And anyway, so no, this was totally Elaine Powell's boobs.
That is some inside her trading information.
Oh, yeah, geez,
well, believe me, the Mr. Skin team yes, they know. We always get to the bottom of this, so never fear. We'll let you know if it's really her or not. We will always get to the bottom of it.
And I only ask because her boobs are perfect. I mean, they're dream titties. Yeah, so I'm like, did they zhuzh them up a little bit?
Yeah, if you could CGI it so they're moving like that, then we're in trouble because every time she turns her head, they shake. And yeah. Anyway, so that's Elaine Powell at number 5, best TV nudes of 2016. Now, number 4 is, in any other year, this would have been number 1, but it's Olivia Wilde from Vinyl. It's the famous scene where Olivia Wilde plays Bobby Cannavale's wife on the show, which unfortunately was canceled, which was a big surprise. I was kind of jacked up for the show about the 1970s rock and record industry. And so Olivia Wilde's playing Bobby Cannavale's wife, and he's needless to say, he has some issues and maybe not paying a ton of attention to her. So she meets this photographer at a party, and he offers to do so she could be a model for him. And only Olivia Wilde would get completely nude and stand in front of this guy on HBO. But the one thing that I did have to penalize this a couple spots was because she is wearing a merkin, and she was very upfront about it. She talked about how it was almost like wearing a furkini walking around, because this is 1970s, and if you go full frontal, you know, you got to have a big bush. But forgetting that's still her butt and her breasts, and she still stood there completely naked, and she's incredibly beautiful and famous. And it just is. It's a stunning nude scene. Unfortunately, she's wearing a merkin, but other than that, I just absolutely love this, and this was my fourth best television nude scene of 2016.
Wow. Number
she's
4.
great.
Every time you do this countdown, I don't know why, but I just keep picturing Casey Kasem doing the narration. Our long distance labia goes out to Olivia Wilde.
Well, and this was quite a merkin. They probably had to pay a little extra because they went.
It was well made. You can tell. But Olivia Wilde's so like classically beautiful. I just love that she gets naked and fully naked, and it's not like, you know, special angles or lighting. It's just like here she is moving around, walking around, stark naked. She's fearless.
She's married to is it Jason Sudeikis? Sudeikis, yeah. So
she's
lucky
a cool
guy
chick.
he is. Yeah. How cool is that to have your babe totally naked on HBO and be cool about
stunningly
it?
Beautiful.
And
really smart and talented.
So anyway, we'll miss Olivia Wilde on vinyl, but I'm sure she'll pop up somewhere else. So that was my fourth best television nude scene of the year. And number 3 was really spectacular. If you guys know you remember there was a movie in 2009 starring Sasha Grey called The Girlfriend Experience.
Yes, saw that.
The Stars Network this year in the spring put out a television series, The Girlfriend Experience, and they went and got Riley Keough, who, Jimmy, if I just said to you Riley Keough's naked, you'd be like, oh, well, never heard of her, but that's awesome. But if I told you that she is the granddaughter of Elvis Presley,
Lisa
now
Marie's
you might
daughter.
be a little more interested. Yeah, you're nothing but a horn dog when you see that. So but she, her mom is Lisa Marie Presley, and is it Danny Keough was his dad? I think that was his name. And anyway, she is, again, I mean, girl's so beautiful. She plays a New York City call girl in this, you know, series, and she not only was naked almost every episode, but this guy even, there's a scene where a guy he loads on her, and you don't see this too often. Girls with Shuri Appleby a few years ago did this, and I was shocked that they showed it on HBO. And then this guy did it on Riley Keough and leaves a trail, a spew trail. So it was pretty incredible, the amount of how graphic the nudity was, and how beautiful she was also in this. Yeah,
to me, because she's so beautiful and she comes from such a famous lineage, it's more shocking and almost slightly disturbing to me than the girls' scene of the same nature, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. It's like watching Elvis's granddaughter get spooged on is just a little different than like a relatively unknown actress. You know what I mean? It's very weird. But again, we had 25 different nude scenes that we have at the website just from this first season of The Girlfriend Experience. And I was talking to our content department about this series, and this is an anthology. So next year they're going to do another version with, you know, a new star. Cool. And I do not know who it is, because I actually had them check today to see if there's been any news on this. And I can't wait, because whoever stars in this is obviously going to do a lot of nudity. And Riley Keough was fantastic. So
the
great
King's
stuff. Yeah.
Daughter, I love granddaughter.
Is he wearing spew suede shoes?
Oh, jeez.
No. Yeah, sorry.
Skin man. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
So anyway, that was the third best television nude moment of the year. And now my number 2 is from another anthology show. It's called Easy, which Easy was from. Yeah, that's a Netflix original programming, and this is a 3-way between Malin Ackerman and Kate Micucci and Orlando Bloom. And it's the reason I love this is because of the celebrity status of the 3 participants, but also because it's so realistic. It's hipsters in their 30s. It's they met. Malin Ackerman and Orlando Bloom are married. They meet Kate Micucci on, I think it was Tinder, and they try to set up a 3-way. They get the 3-way going, but they have a baby, Orlando Bloom and Malin Ackerman, so they have the baby mounted around, and the baby keeps crying, so they have to interrupt the 3-way and go up. Yeah, but to me, though, gave it more of a realistic, made it believable. Feel to it. Yeah, it made it believable, and it's just so hot. And by the way, there's so much nudity in this scene. It's very graphic, and Orlando Bloom gets naked. The girls are naked. Now this everyone, you guys know who Malin Ackerman is.
Absolutely.
Lisa,
Love her.
But this other girl, Kate Micucci, there's a comedy music duo called Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh,
and,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the
brunette, and
she's Oates.
Yeah, and then
Oates. She's the brunette with the short hair, and
the
then
blonde chick with the
Ricky Lindome is Garfunkel, and Ricky Lindome's done some incredible nudity. Hell Baby, she went full frontal. Last House on the Left, she was topless. But anyway, so Kate Micucci, I had known her from this Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah.
She actually has a surprisingly nice rack, and it's just, again, she's not like I wouldn't call her a 10
No, she's
in the
not a
beauty
knockout.
scale.
She's known for being really funny and quirky.
Yes, but how about Orlando Bloom? And you already got Malin Ackerman, and you're able to get a hot babe. And what's cool about the three-way is they go back and forth. Like there's girl action, then Orlando Bloom joins in. So it's a really, really great thing. And then it's with the baby monitor, it just adds a whole other dimension, which made it really cool.
The baby monitor.
Find. Good
I
find,
believe
Skin.
this is our first reference to a baby monitor on the show this year.
I think
Hey,
so.
man. It's the it's the times they are changing.
Well, it is. I opened the show with the Elf on the Shelf.
Oh,
yes,
geez.
and now we're at a baby
Look at that
monitor.
full circle.
Yeah, the full circle jerk. So anyway, Malin Ackerman and Kate Micucci and Orlando Bloom's three-way in Easy. And when I said anthology, every episode had a completely different cast. And by the way, there were other great nude scenes in the other episodes, but this one just jumped out at me. And this was my second favorite TV nude scene of 2016.
All right, are we ready for number one?
Oh, you're ready.
Okay.
And we've talked about
All
it,
right.
but I want to pay homage because it really blew me away. My number one television nude scene has to be the incredible orgy scene in Westworld. And the reason I say that is, number one, you just don't get orgy scenes in mainstream movies or television. It just doesn't happen. I mean, we've had Eyes Wide Shut, The Informers a little bit, Caligula in the 70s, but this is a rare treat. They had like 60 extras, and I think I told Andrea this when this came out, is they didn't hire any 4s or 5s. They had strict rules. You had to be a complete. Yeah,
and everyone,
it's not even the dudes. You know,
it's not just like
crazy.
gratuitous nudity. It's hands on. People are masturbating. People are making out. People are groping, squeezing, fondling. It's like an active orgy.
It's like if you've never traveled by bus across the country. It's like a better looking version of traveling Greyhound. I see this on the bus in New York City every day. I just never see it this good looking.
Right.
This is stunning. Like it's so good looking.
What's going on
jarring.
with a Greyhound? Fuck, I need to switch my mode of transportation. I don't mind some 4s, 5s, or 6s.
and what really makes it so impressive is this happened on prime time on Sunday night on HBO, and that's why this isn't when I go to PornoTube and search gangbang. This is when I'm on watching HBO and see this, and it really is. It really was incredible, and like I said, beautiful babes, and quite frankly, also, as I want to throw into the pot here, all the great nudity from Evan Rachel Wood, Tandy Newton, and the other girls that played the hosts on Westworld. I've talked about how it just completely took me by surprise. I knew there'd be great nudity on the show, but I had no idea that there would be all those gratuitous scenes where the hosts, the robots, were being worked on in the laboratory by the doctors or the technicians or whatever you call them. And it's just the show, as far as nudity goes, I hope it has a long run, because this is even this is above a Game of Thrones level at this stage of the game, and I'm really excited for future seasons of Westworld. But this orgy scene
takes the cake, man.
And takes the cake.
It's a winner.
Or the pie, if you will. Yeah.
This is actually, a lot of people don't know this, Andrea. This was actually inspired by the Mr. Skin holiday party. This is actually deleted footage.
You wouldn't want video of that. There are too many dudes. No, but we have about how many girls, Maddie D, would you say work here? We have about 8, 9.
That's all you need.
8 or 9. That's all you need.
3 holes
That's all you need when you got 30 guys, you know?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell.
So this is a fine send-off. I was really excited about the television nudity, and we have so much cool stuff to look forward to next year, 2017. And I will, in one of the last podcasts of the season, I want to go over with you guys all the upcoming things or things we're looking forward to in 2017, because there's some really great television shows and movies that we're very hopeful are going to have great nudity that are going to debut in 2017. So I'll be talking to you guys about that in upcoming episodes.
Sounds
Very
good to
exciting stuff, everybody. I'd love to stay in chat, but I have to move the elf on the shelf.
Oh my God!
It's getting dust on it.
It's that time. It's that time of day. That effing elf.
Well, we'll let you get to that.
All right, well, let's do this again in a week. What do you say?
I'm down.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
We'll do it.
Good
All
talk.
right.
All right,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Happy holidays.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.